My name is YayatiChavan. Today I'm gonna speak about the billionaire Raj, rising income inequality in India. India is the world's fourth largest economy. Our GDP has been growing at over 7% for years. We produce 271 billionaires, more than almost any country on earth. But there is a question nobody is asking loudly enough. Who is actually benefiting from this growth? According to the data of the World Inequality Lab, led by the French economist Thomas Piketty, India's top 1% now earns 22.6% of the world's entire national income. That is more than concentrated than United States. That is more concentrated than Brazil, and shockingly, even more concentrated than the British colonial India. Piketty's 2024 report, titled "The Rise of Billionaire Raj," reveals a stark picture. The top 10% of India's capture 58% of national income. The bottom 50%, that is 700 million people, just 15%. In terms of wealth, the top 1% owns 40% of everything the country has produced. It isn't just inequality in numbers. Walk 3 kilometers anywhere, you will see what it looks like on ground. India's inequality isn't hidden. It is visible in every city, every train station, every morning commute. This wasn't always the case. After independence, India's inequality actually declined. The Nehruvian socialist model, land reforms, and public sector expansion kept inequality in check throughout the 1950s to the early 1980s. Then came liberalization in 1991. GDP surged, poverty fell, but the gains were unequally distributed. Since the early 2000s, wealth concentration at the top was skyrocketed, particularly after 2014 when there was pronounced. Piketty himself called this the billionaire Raj, a reference to the colonial era British Raj. Nothing that India's wealth concentration today exceed even that of colonial period. Why is this happening? There are three main reasons. First, service-led growth. India's boom was driven by the IT sector, finance sector, and the consulting sector. These sectors highly rewarded the skilled laborers and the educated workers, whereas the highly unskilled laborers were left behind. Second, poor public investment. Education and healthcare remain severely underfunded. If you are born poor, quality education and quality healthcare is something which you are inaccessible to. Third, capital accumulation. As wealth compounds at the top through stocks, real estate, and businesses, the tax system fails to redistribute. The gap widens further and further. What can be done? Piketty and co-author recommended 2% wealth tax on net asset about 10 crore, which could generate revenue equal to 0.5% of the GDP annually. This money could fund public education, healthcare, and social protection of those left behind. Other economists argued for a strong labor protection, investment in vocational training, and formalization of gig economy, giving millions of contract laborers access to pension and healthcare. But these solutions face real barriers. India abolished its wealth tax in 2015. The government has resisted calls to reintroduce it, citing features of capital flight. And the 271 billionaires collectively worth over 1 trillion. Political, it won't be very easy. India's growth story is real, but the rising tide that only lifts a few boats is not a success story. It's a structural failure. If we cannot ensure the growth reaches the bottom 50%, that is the 700 million people, then no GDP numbers, no billionaire counts, or no global ranking will matter in the long run. The question is not whether India can grow. The question is, can India grow for everyone?